I think she's a mix of everything, um, a little of everything. I think a huge paradox in this issue because as much as I like to think I am very spontaneous and I do things on an impulse, which I do, there's a lot of things that I plan. Like my day begins with planning and to do lists and stuff. But I know there is the spontaneity like creeps in somewhere in between. I know there's a lot of times I randomly decide to like do things. So I think I'm again a little of both. I don't think it was ever a conscious decision that that's where I want to enter or be in. It sort of chose me. I had moved back to India from the US and was figuring out what to do, and that's when I happened to stumble upon this job as getting into styling or working as an assistant stylist and a costume designer because my cousin was a writer, Kona Venkat. He was working for Bacha, and like it was literally like one led to another, and I just ended up in this. And yeah, like 7 years down the lane, I know how it happened. Yes, I'm not a designing, but I've actually never sketched in my life. What I've studied is fashion marketing. So my degrees have been in marketing and business administration, my BBA, and then I sort of went into the fashion marketing vibe. I did a course in visual merchandising in London College of Fashion. So I think I literally like chose little pieces of everything that I was interested in back then. But no, not for designing at all, which is something that just happened. I dress in a lot of like I think comfort is the word that comes to my mind. I'm not somebody who is into the whole trends or like follows a certain thing. It's about what my mood is and what I'm the most comfortable in. I think that's what makes anybody be confident about the way they dress. I think when I started off about 7 years ago, there was not much happening in the world of styling. There wasn't any scope of like, I don't think the word stylist was even used much around back then. It was a costume designer that for films and that was happening. And I know like back then, me and Samantha used to look at our pictures in High Heel Confidential and Pink Villa, and we used to look at all of these Bollywood celebs getting photographed and styled for events, and it was like a big deal. I mean, we just thought, how come it was not happening as much in the South as it happens, in Bollywood? And I think we were amongst the first who probably started. Putting our effort into getting dressed for events, and it was a team effort. Like she was the muse and I was getting to style her, and it was like a team thing that started happening. And before we knew it, we were getting featured in High Heel and Pink Villa, and I think the game has changed. Like it's a night and day now. You've got such talented people working in the industry right now, and it's become competitive in a very healthy way, and there's a lot of scope for young talent to come through. Very, very, very tricky question to never ask a person.
You can't play safe. Tollywood.
Okay.
No Bollywood or Hollywood.
No, actually, no. It's not about playing safe. It's about getting honest, like answers. I think in the men, I've always thought Sharan dresses really well. I think like Alu Arjun and Vijay Devarkonda somewhere like in the second spot. Um, well, maybe like second and third, I guess. I think all of the boys they have their own little style thing happening. I know like a Nani or a Nitin fall into their comfort zones and they dress really well outside. And yeah, I think we've answered the question. The top three in actresses, I think Samantha. She's always gonna be my favorite when it comes to dressing up. Then Rakul, and I think Rashmika right now, I feel like she's one of those little perky, bubbly ones out there. Pooja also. Yeah. I don't think I ever had a dream of designing for somebody, but I think I dream of projects now more than a person to work with. I think I'm at a point of in space in my career that I am looking forward to working for projects that sort of like give my learning curve a little bit more, and I get to learn something. Yeah, I've had the pleasure and the privilege of working with the biggest of the names in the South, but I think right now I really like what I want is like projects like in where I can increase my scope or just get a kick out of working on something cool. I think it's again. I think it's a privilege that you sort of have to build on it, and it, given the initial time to like now. I think that it has increased, and there's a sort of unsaid trust that sort of we put into your hands by the actors that you're styling, or the directors you're working with, and so it sort of is a it becomes a learning responsibility to learn how to take that forward. They any which ways have their 2 cents and they put in what they require, but as a stylist, yeah, I do get a lot of creative freedom when I'm working with. See, I think tough, I would probably say, is Heart Attack, actually, which was Nitin and Purisa's film. I would say tough not because of the work that went into it, but it was one of my first films that I had to travel abroad for shopping. And I didn't like all of these films when I started working was the things that I just like I was learning on the job. I never knew what goes into it. It was literally like the first time for Gunde Jargal, and then I started working around the sets, and I knew what was happening here. Like I was learning every day. It was a learning thing. Attar Intik Daredi with Sam had happened, and Power had just started. But Heart Attack was one film that required it was shot in Spain most of the times, and Purisa was very particular about the look that they wanted. There was this hippie thing happening, and we certainly didn't want to use things that were readily just available here. We wanted to mix in things, and I travel a lot alone, but this was a different sort of a thing, like having to travel somewhere and shop, and which I was not a fan of, and so shopping became a thing that I had constantly like go look out for what I wanted. So I think I remember being very stressed about the whole process, but I know like also pleasantly surprised. I think the very first day of trial and everything, we just like were like, yeah, this is it. Like Purisa was happy, and we got the look down right, and yeah, I think it's one of my favorite films to date. See, in a way, I think I got very lucky because not being starstruck or not being familiar with the Telugu industry became a huge plus for me. I was not somebody who was watching films or knew the whole thing about our industry. I was living in the US, and all my friends were like, including my husband, like they're all like the movie buffs, and I was the only one who never really sat with them and like watched movies. I was one of those put hits and mouse to like go watch that, but I was not the movie person. So when I started working, it was like I think I was just like taking into everything. I think everybody were very receptive about that fact. There was no, I didn't have a filter about how it needs to be. I didn't know, nobody had told me how it's supposed to be. So I think it sort of just opened up a very honest path between the people and me. It's very, very important. I'm very blessed in a way that I have a kid that who is very travel friendly and he's work friendly, and he's sort of been with me since like I think he was a 3-month-old baby when I came back with him from the US, and I went back to work. Like we landed, and I think the next day is when I had started styling Kajal for Sardar Promotions, and started Nayan's film within a week, Babu Bangaram. So I know like it was not an issue. Like I don't know, I was not a planned thing, but somehow I figured it out. Like Ansh was fine, and then this was happening. Plus, I think within a few months, when I was like I got the leave, I was able to travel on my own, like do my little solo trip in between. So I don't know. I don't know if there's ever an equation or a formula for all of these, but I know it's very, very important to segregate your time for all of it. That's definitely important. I love it, yeah. Like I think when I look back, it's a very pleasant journey so far, and it's a learning curve. Like I didn't know that this is how it's going to be, and I love how it's shaped up so far, and I'm very excited about the future prospects. Kalwa is, I think what we are, just like an everyday girl. I was somebody, I think just like any of us who loves her cotton kurtas and the comfort vibe. And I think I wanted something to sort of like entail into that. And at the essence is a very comfort fabric, and it's a comfort is what I think seeks in with every little garment of Kalwa. I probably wouldn't put Kalwa in the luxury lifestyle brand. I mean, it's something that I think I would never want to be in, but I know it falls in that category. Um, we strive to sort of balance out what an everyday audience would choose to what can transform into something that can be your going out purpose. Like I know most of our pieces in Kalwa are things that you probably can wear during the day and as well as carry it out into your evening. So I think that's somewhere is the category I fall into. Be ready to work hard. Be extremely passionate about what you want to do because it's not easy. Um, there's a lot of like the glam quotient of the job is might be high, or it's one of the things that will reel you in, but be expected to work your ass off, like literally, like you have to be able to put in the dog hours that come in with it. There I think that's sort of where I have the learning curve that helped me. So yeah, be ready to work hard. I've always been into traveling. I don't know what started it off for me, but I think I've been traveling since I was 17. And now that I'm 37, so 20, a good 20 years have happened. And I don't know, traveling is like a huge part of me. It just lets me be me and not have to worry about like anything else. Yes, it's the other side of the job. As much as I love traveling, when you travel on work, there's a difference, and I think I don't really complain much about that part too. But there is like one of those, those times that there's a burnout that's happening where I just have to be home. It's required, like you to like hit that recharge. 38, I think. 38.
You're 37.
Yes,
38
38.
countries.
Yeah. No, I keep it I make sure every year it's a minimum rule for me to go to one place, like one new place that I haven't been to, like a new country. But I've gotten so lucky over the past few years that I got to cover a few more. I think I'm lucky enough to gain a lot of experiences all through, but I think one big thing that I have always taken away from traveling is how you somehow end up finding yourself amongst like strangers. And it's those little moments when you're in those, taking those metro trains and in a busy metro train in a thing, or in the middle of a really packed street, or eating at one of those tiny restaurants with, I mean, you literally are like unknown. And I think somewhere in that whole idea for me is like where I find comfort in. And I think for me, that's my experience of traveling. And one place I keep saying I keep going back to is Paris. Like I've gone there multiple times, and I don't know, I think I'm a very huge romantic at heart, and I feel Paris is like my thing. Honest to God, I think I had put on weight and I had just wanted to start losing weight. And that was, that, no, no, like it was like lockdown was like the only time I think I was getting to be home, not Swiggy, and just eat home cooked food. And so I decided I'm gonna try doing a whole low carb keto thing, because I've never really like dieted like as a thing and all. It's been eating healthy, but it sort of worked because I think it gave me, I love like researching and getting into things, and that's just me as a person, like in general. Anything you give me, I start like getting into it, and I think that's how I started getting into food. And of course I love the photography and I like the process of it. So I think Instagram is where I was living during my food thing. I don't know. I think my mom says I was sort of like into the creative thing from a kid. I was into writing from before. I know I was like I did like I had my fair share of art involved somewhere, but I don't know. Like it's just things that I know when I see, especially since I started getting into photography, iPhone photography. Um, it automatically like I think I feel like I have a eye for something. I don't know how I manage it, but I'm very lucky, I guess. Um, but I think you sort of after a few years you just get comfortable with the idea of just being on social media. I think Instagram is one space that I feel you have the direct access to somehow make an impact for so many things. It could be a little thing like I like updating what's happening, just random stuff, to like there are times when I am having my own mood or an emotional thing, and I know I put in things because I know that it could be something that's useful for somebody else, and I know and I love it when I get replies back, direct messages where somebody probably needed to hear that or see that, and I know that's very inspiring in some format to just feel better as a person. And yeah, I don't know, I don't think it's managing, but I think it manages me. I think I've just always been like into writing some format or the other. I talk a lot. I do have like a lot of friends, but I always have felt that it's not. And I also have a huge loner streak in me where I like to have my little private space and my private thing. And I think writing is my way of expressing myself, and I think it just started becoming a little more, again, thanks to I think social media or Instagram. It just made it came into a forefront a lot more. I started putting up little quotes here and there and combining it with like like photographs and stuff, and people seem to really like it. And I think that's where the idea became a little bigger, that maybe doing it a little bit more. And one thing led to another. Like the book happened, Wave, Sun and Magic, and it's a bestseller, like on the way to becoming a bestseller, and I'm really really excited about that. The sort of love and um, you know just think people have showered on it. I love how something that I've written is something that people are able to relate to. And I love reading the little stories that I know that someone's going through something, or if what I've written has helped them, or in any which way. Yeah, like from getting a proposal to like feeling okay about things. So I think writing is like become a huge part now. It's a compilation of 101 poems, quotes, like I would have to say, that I've put together along with the 101 pictures that I've taken. These it's just moments, I think, that I've just been captured randomly. Things that I felt at that particular moment. Something inspired me in every particular moment to have like written that. And I think it's just a journey for the last like a year and a half of what I've like put together for my travels and like just experiences. And it's as personal as it gets. Like the whole point was, when I start writing, it's one of those extremely personal stuff. Like there is no filter when it comes in terms of putting things down. So I think that book is it's a pretty big part of me. So I think that's the most open I've been in terms of, I think, for letting somebody have direct access to like knowing you as a person. So yeah, it's all hard for me. I think those best compliments are unsaid ones, but I don't know. It's a proud feeling, no? Like it's just like I know my friends were all proud. I can't just pick one, but I know a lot of my friends were extremely proud of it, and I could see that they were so pleasantly happy for me. And I think, and including my parents. So I know that's a compliment in itself. Um, I stumbled upon it again, thanks to Taman. He's one of those guys who just decided that I could play with words, and he gave me my first song in Tikka, Vellipo, Vellipo thing. And I think everything I've written so far has been for Taman only. Like it's just been a avalanche of, like I just constantly with him. I don't think either of them are in my goal list, but it's sort of me. And I know that if I have to put out one thing for a goal, it probably is getting into direction. So I know the back end of that is writing, and I think that's what I've been doing the last 3 years, working on my scripts. So that's the writing part of it. I don't think it's gender discrimination at all. I don't think we've really stepped up our game or come out there as much. I feel there's so many more like opportunities right now that are available for women. Not just in lyrics, like, as a lyricist, but I think in every department. I know from what I started off like 7 years ago to now, I see so many more female ADs out there, and like there's like cameramen in the camera woman, I guess you call them now. But you are seeing women out there now, and I think it's just about time that there's going to be a lot more names out there. I know that so I know that being a female, I mean, like I think it always is an advantage because we being like women, we have the advantage of sensing the emotions a little bit more maybe, or getting our take on that subject. That said, like I know like anything that I write, I try to give it a very conscious thought. Would you think if a woman would have written this or a man would have written this? Like I think I would have succeeded the day when somebody were to read something I wrote or watch a film that I make in the future and not say that was a film made by a woman. Like I don't ever want that. Like I think I want it to be an unbiased thing, like a great, like a really good writer wrote that story or a good filmmaker did make that movie. So I think that's where I want to see it at. I'm at the writing scripting stage right now. So yeah, like got my stuff ready and I'm starting to pitch out there and getting my feet into the water. So if and when something pops up, I know that it'll be the first. I'll put it up out there, so you'll know. But I'm extremely excited about it because and scared. It's a very I think all these days whatever new things that I've tried or like getting into like a restaurant business or like writing lyrics for a book or trying on different hats is one thing, but I know like how in your life those moments are coming that are gonna be life changing or big. It's one of those. Either I fall flat on my face or it takes me places. So I'm banking on the fact that I go somewhere with this. No, I think it'll be the other way around where there is going to be a tremendous amount of pressure because I know in my case, or at least it's what I believe that it's going to be, is because when you have the comfort with so many people and you've been in the industry for a while, and I'm coming with that extra baggage of being a costume designer who's getting into this. A, you want to be taken seriously. B, you never want it to be because of a certain last name you've got or certain friends you have, and there is going to be an added pressure regardless. Like I'm already stepping in knowing that there's going to be judgments, there's going to be contradictions and tribulations and all of that, but I'm okay with it. I know that I love how I know that's what they would, that's what you it's part of the thing. If you want to enjoy being this, you have to enjoy, like, know that it's okay when somebody says that also. So I think I've gotten used to it all of those years. But one thing I know, if you don't, the industry is not it's as loving and caring it is. It's also, it kicks you on your bum when you don't really like do your job. And your friends or people that you know or your last name or your family, they all can maybe open a door for you at most, but or get that first foot in, but you don't prove yourself and you don't work hard, trust me, there's no seconds in this industry. There's too many people waiting to take your spot. I am a huge fan of drama and romance, and I think both combined is like my favorite.
So the first movie is gonna be
A love story, yes, I think so. But then I also have this huge commercial mass streak in me. I love like something that's exciting. So I don't know, like there's couple of things that I'm toying with. I was just having this conversation yesterday with one of my friends. So I don't know. Like I either I choose what, like I know I this is like I would make a love story, or I surprise myself by choosing the other end of the spectrum and do something else. I don't know. No, I'm gonna switch off everything because there's always. I don't. You can be good at a bunch of things. It's a good thing. It's an advantage for me. I feel just because I know a couple of things, that means it's an advantage for me tomorrow when I'm choosing things. But I think I'm gonna choose just one hat, and that's gonna be the director's hat. I don't know. Oh, that's a very nice thing to hear, but I don't know. No, I don't know.
Is there anything you want to do? Like there's this one thing that's so bad you want to do and you didn't do it?
Singing.
Singing.
Yes. Oh yeah, you should
You
know.
wrote songs which
I wrote,
start
I write,
singing,
and
yeah.
I sing when there is nobody around, or yeah, but no, singing is
Well,
not
you're
happening.
gonna see me, you have to know.
It is never happening. So very confidently I can say it will never happen.
You never say never.
Never, never. No, no. This I'll say never. It's not happening. Raising my kid to be a good guy, I guess. But yeah, like no my long term, short term plans, everything right now is I'm enjoying the projects that I have on hand for costume designing. I'm really excited, and tomorrow and every minute I get, I'm kind of focusing on my writing part. So let's see how it goes. Currently, I am working on Tag Jagdish, styling for Nani, Ritu Verma, and Aishwarya Rajesh. And then for Crack for Shruti Hassan. And then it's doing a check for Nitin and Rakul and Priya Warrior. And starting off Sham Singha Roy, which I'm super excited for Nani. Again, this was something again I was talking to a friend just a couple of days ago. I think if anything the lockdown has taught me, that we need to be more kinder to ourselves and do what makes you happy more, because all of a sudden just things went to a standstill. Like there was a point where we didn't know what was going to happen next, or everything was a dangerous little thing. The fact that my kid can't go out, play and do his thing anymore, or if I had to go to work, there was so many things everything was such, not just me, I think everybody just took a major hit with it. So I think when now that we're just starting to get back out there, I was telling my friend that I'm going to start thinking about traveling a little bit more and doing things that I want to do a little bit more from next year, or whenever things start opening up, because I don't know, I think we need to concentrate and take care of ourselves, nurture ourselves more. No, not right now. I think there are, but they have not come out yet. So I'll just wait for them to start announcing. I'm not really allowed to talk about it.
Can you sing a song?
Not happening at all. Yeah. See, I think it's a very interesting take when I look up people. Like, see, I know most of my friends who have the first time directors who now are like a couple of movies old and all. I know that they've been in the industry working as ADs or something for years, and they've put in so much of effort and hard work into all of that. And I come, and then they're like into movies like big time and all, and then I am this other end of the spectrum where I had zero knowledge and I came in unknowingly into this thing. So I know there's a lot of people, I'm sure, who are out there who very they probably don't know how to get in or what to do. I really think this is one such industry where it's so welcoming with anybody if you have the passion and the determination for it. I don't think it should scare you, neither should it overwhelm you. I think the industry is a great welcoming space, and if you have this, if you have the heart for it, go for it. One suggestion will be, which I think the suggestion that I give myself also most of the times is staying true to yourself. remember where you started, and that's the most important for anybody. I guess in normal, if in one word I have to say, just stay grounded. That's very important, because you rise and you fall and you falter and you shoot up and all of that happens. But if you don't remember where you started from, I think that's where sort of you start losing yourself. Actually, I'm done.